Shalom. It's your brother, Shekaniah ben Yisrael. This topic is about the Old and New Covenants. Who did they pertain to then, and who do they pertain to now? Okay. Deuteronomy 4:12 through 14. And the Lord spoke unto... Sorry about that. And the Lord spoke unto you out of the midst of the fire. Ye heard the voice of the words, but saw no similitude. Only ye heard a voice. And he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments. And he wrote them upon 2 tables of stone. And the Lord commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, and that you might do them in the land whither you go over to possess it. All right. Now, who was under this covenant? Who was in the agreement with the Creator? And what was the covenant? The covenant was, blessings or whatever, if you follow his laws, statutes, and commandments, and curses if you didn't follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. All right. So Deuteronomy 5:1 through 4 states, And Moses called all Israel and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your ears this day, that ye may learn them and keep them and do them. The Lord our God made a covenant with us in Horeb. The Lord made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us who are all of us here alive this day. The Lord talked with you face to face in the mount out of the midst of the fire. All right, so we see he was talking about Israel. Not all nationalities, just that group of people, Israel. Now, Deuteronomy 6:1 through 3. Is it 1 through 3? Yeah, 1 through 3. It states, Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments, which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that you might do them in the land whither you go to possess it, that thou mightst fear the Lord thy God, to keep all the statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy sons and thy sons' sons, all the days of thy life, and that the days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that all may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as the Lord God of the fathers hath promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey. Okay. Now, so we see who the covenant was with. We know what the covenant was. Now, everyone who's not a part of the covenant are called Gentiles. The definition of Gentile from the Zondervan Bible Dictionary states, usually it means a non-Israelite people. How did the Creator feel about the other nations as far as it concerned Israel? Deuteronomy 7:1 through 5. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them, and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his son daughter shalt thou not take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy sons from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. Okay, because Solomon had all those wives, and a lot of those wives were foreign, and they led him astray, and he was the smartest, the most knowledgeable man that walked, the face of the earth. So that lets you know. So all these intermarriages, you know, I don't think we should do that. I'm not trying to sound racist or nothing like that, you know. But But anyway, let's get back to the Bible. Okay, so Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14, it talks about the blessings that would pour onto Israel if they stayed in agreement with the covenant. You know, if they followed their part of the deal, I guess you could say. In Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68, talks about the curses that would befall Israel if they did not keep the covenant, which was to obey his laws, statutes, and commandments. The question is, why did he choose this group of people? And excuse the cigarettes, y'all, you know what I'm saying? I apologize, but that's a habit that I have to quit. Maybe one day. All right, so why did he choose this group of people? Let's go back to Deuteronomy 6, 7 through 9. Deuteronomy 7, 6 through 9. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. Okay. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of the Pharaoh king of Egypt. Now, therefore, that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. Whew. That's powerful right there. Even though Israel knew this, they were still rebellious, serving other gods, following the ways of the heathen, sacrificing their children. The Most High also referred to us, or to that group of people, at times he called them stiff-necked, rebellious people. So in 2nd Esdras, I'm going to start at 9, and I'm going to go down a ways. So we'll just start at 2nd Esdras 9. Okay, starting at 2nd Esdras 9. How long shall I forbear them unto whom I have done so much good? Many kings have I destroyed for their sakes. Pharaoh with his servant, and all his power have I smitten down. All the nations have I destroyed before them, and in the east I have scattered the people of 2 provinces, even of Tyrus and Sidon, and have slain all their enemies. Speak thou therefore unto them, saying, he's telling Esdras to go speak to the people and say this to them. Back at 12. Speak thou therefore unto them, saying, Thus saith the Lord, I led you through the sea, and in the beginning gave you a large and safe passage. I gave you Moses for a leader, and Aaron for a priest. I gave you light and a pillar of fire, and great wonders have I done among you. Yet have you forgotten me, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Almighty Lord, the quails were as a token for you. I gave you tent for your safeguard. Nevertheless, you murmured there, and triumphed not in my name for the destruction of your enemies. But ever to this day do ye yet murmur. 17. Where are the benefits that I have done for you? When you were hungry and thirsty in the wilderness, did you not cry unto me, saying, Why hast thou brought us into this wilderness to kill us? It has been better for us to have served the Egyptians than to die in this wilderness. Then had I pity upon your murmuring, and gave you manna to eat, so ye did eat angels' bread. When ye were when ye were thirsty, did I not cleave the rock, and water flowed out to your field? For the heart I covered you with the leaves of the trees. For the heat I covered you with the leaves of the trees. I divided amongst you a fruitful land. I cast out the Canaanites, the Perizzites, and the Philistines before you. What shall I yet do What shall I yet do more for you, saith the Lord? Thus saith the Almighty Lord, when ye were in the wilderness in the river of the Amorites, being athirst and blaspheming my name, I gave you not fire for your blasphemies, but cast a tree in the water, and made the river sweet. What shall I do unto thee, O Jacob? Thou Judah, wouldest not obey me. I will turn me to other nations, and unto those will I give my name, that they may keep my statutes. Seeing ye have forsaken me, I will forsake you. When ye desire me to be gracious unto you, I shall have no mercy to you upon you. 26. Whensoever you shall call upon me, I will not hear you, for ye have defiled your hands with blood, and your feet are swift to commit manslaughter. Ye have not as it were forsaken me. Ye have not as it were forsaken me, but your own selves, saith the Lord. Y'all got to excuse me for messing up, but I'm reading out of the 1611 edition. This is in the Apocrypha. So, I'm still on 2nd Esdras. All right, 28. Thus saith the Almighty Lord, have I not prayed you as a father his sons, as a mother her daughters, and a nurse her young babes, that ye would be my people, and I should be your God, that ye would be my children, and I should be your father. I gathered you together as a hen gathering her chickens under her wing. But now what shall I do unto you? I will cast you out from my face. You don't want that. 31. When you offer unto me, I will turn my face from you. For your solemn feast days, your new moon, and your circumcisions have I forsaken. You're supposed to be circumcision of the heart. Okay, so I'm at 32. I sent unto you my servants, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain, and torn their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Almighty Lord, your house is desolate. I will cast you out as the wind doth stubble, and your children shall not be fruitful, for they have despised my commandments and done the things that is evil before me. 35. Your houses will I give to a people that shall come, which not having heard of me, yet shall believe me, to whom I have showed no signs, yet they shall do that I have commanded them. They have seen no prophets, yet they shall call their sins to remembrance and acknowledge them. 37. Take to witness the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice in gladness, and though they have not seen me. All right, so now I be hearing religious people say, we are not under the old laws anymore. We say we're saved by grace. We're saved by grace. So I'll touch the saved by grace topic another time, and some more teachings. But as far as the laws goes, if you were not a Hebrew Israelite, you were never even under the laws in the beginning, because the Hebrew Israelites, they had to follow certain, the laws, like the dietary laws. No pork, no catfish. If you eat some out the water, it needs to have fins and scales, It was just, and as you can see, like even in the Western world, those type of foods are glorified. The catfish, the pork chops, the pig feet, the hog buttocks, the chitlins, all of that is glorified. So, but nations can eat that. Only the people that were under a covenant is not supposed to eat that. Okay, so now, did the Most High forget about his people? We'll go to Jeremiah 31 through 34. Jeremiah 31 and 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts, and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. 34. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sins no more. Now that right there is interesting to me, because you know his people, who I believe is the descendants of the slaves, because of Deuteronomy 28, it says what it says, but he's only coming back for a remnant. So that remnant is the ones who, who's going to get it. I talk to my coworkers, I talk to, people on the street, and I say things to them like, what up, Hebrew? Or do you know you're a Hebrew Israelite? And they just be like dumbfounded. They don't want to hear it and stuff like that. But it's cool, because, like I said, he's going to put it on the hearts of his people. Forgive me for my sins, because, man, I've done a great deal of sinning. I really apologize. All right, now let's go to Hebrews 8 and 8 through 13. Hebrews 8 and 8. For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with the fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Most High, I will put my laws into their minds, and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. Let me just stop right there. Now, when you hear people say we're not under the old laws, the laws of the Old Testament anymore, that right there lets you know that they are not his people. They are not the ones that he's that he was going to have that covenant made with. You know what I'm saying? Again, even though they might be Hebrews, it's not in them to they're following the ways of the heathen, the ways of the Gentiles. You know what a heathen is. A heathen is just someone that doesn't know the true Creator. And a Gentile is just one that is not an Israelite. So, okay, so for the ones, the ones under the religions, even if you are a Hebrew, you are still a heathen, because you don't know the Creator. Now let me get back to going. Verse 11. And they shall not teach every man. Let me go back to 10. Let me just start it over. For Hebrews 8 and 8. For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, not the whole world, just the house of Israel and the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my laws into their mind, and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. He's not talking about the whole world. He's talking about his people. He'll be to us a God, and we'll be to him a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness and their sins, and their iniquities will I remember no more. 13. In that he saith, A new covenant he hath made the first old, now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. All right, so I guess I'm about through, but just know that there is a new covenant, It's only with his people, Israel and Judah, and not even all of Israel and Judah, because the ones that are under, religion, whether it be Christianity, whether it be Islam, whether it be Buddhism, or whatever, all of that is paganism. It is of satanic origin. That's why they do the Christmas. That's why on Christmas they do the shopping. They have Saint Nick, and Santa backwards is, if you mix the word Santa around, it's just Satan. It's real crazy. And then you have the Easter, which is, Ishtar, and her son Tammuz, and Nimrod or whatever. But anyway, that's another story, another topic. Anyway, I love you guys, and forgive me for, I probably could have did this video better, but bless you all. May the Most High be with you. May the Most High give some kind of, I pray that this enlightens you in some way. Bless you and shalom.